unfortunately, David Robson can't make it. He's trouble with his transport. We tried to get him here, but unfortunately it hasn't happened. But we've got a young man, Pete Madison, that's going to give us a short breakdown of Article 61, I believe. Yes? This is 60. So, big hand for Pete. And he's doing this on the spur of the moment, so. Thank you, Pete.
All to do with this.
Microphone.
All to do with this, Article 61 of the Magnacarta. 2001, the Queen gave a reply to the barons who petitioned her about one of the treaties, Paris Treaty, and they wanted her to not go ahead and sign it, but she said she'll take it into consideration, and it just went ahead, she signed it, and so the barons invoked Article 61, which gives us the power back. The Queen's got no power, and any authority that gets their power from the Queen has no authority anymore. That's the police, for example. Any HMRC, anything with HM on it, they've got no power. They can't demand any money off you. And a lot of the cases in this book are where people have got their money back from HMRC. And, fines, they've paid fines back. And going back a couple of years, I think, as well, on some of them. Other cases, one woman, she's contesting the water charge. She actually got a committal to prison for failing to attend court on one. I think it was 2 letters she got. She completely ignored them, and it ended up committed to prison for her. And with Dave Robinson helping her with conditional acceptance.
Yeah, Daniela Renelas.
Yeah, Daniela. Yeah.
And it's just on that one question, isn't it, that she's asking to answer.
Yeah. Is Article 61 of the Magna Carta lawfully invoked, and they don't answer because they can't answer, because the answer would be yes, it is, and we have no power to demand anything off you, but they don't want to let you know that.
In that box, Rolly, back up the council tax, that is trying to vote Article 61.
Yeah. In the papers they're saying it's all free under the land stuff, which this is completely opposite end of the spectrum. Sorry, say again?
Yeah, no, on his Facebook he gave quite an in-depth description of exactly what he did, what he went through, and what he's
Is this Ollie you're talking about, mate?
Yeah.
Is this Ollie?
It's completely,
well, they lied, didn't they?
But yeah.
The currently tried to say that he refused to pay, he didn't.
Yeah,
He was withholding it because he wanted
asking them that question about Article 61. Because they can't answer, they just stonewall you, ignore your notices.
But too right, he wasn't actually locked up for. He wasn't actually charged for not paying the withholding council tax. He was actually charged for contempt of court for not turning up to a court hearing. So the actual charge and why he was actually imprisoned or kidnapped, as we call it, was because it was contempt of court, nothing to do with actual. Because I've asked police officers and I've asked our council as well about whether payment of council tax is either a civil crime or a criminal offence. Now I've been told by a few people now that is a civil crime. The police have they shouldn't have anything to do with the collection of council tax. So it's only to do with those laws of, like, say, when you go into breach of the peace, or when the collectors involve authorities, and then you've got to be careful. But the law itself, Article 61, stands, as far as I can see, stands sound.
Yeah.
It's actually those little bits where the other authorities get involved in trying to rile you up almost into incriminating yourself, into breach of the peace and stuff like that. But the actual, as far as withholding council tax, it's a lawful thing to do from where I can see.
But they don't like it because it's the biggest money earner.
Hate it.
Yeah.
Absolutely hate it.
No one's actually beaten the council tax yet, but they've beaten the taxman quite a few times.
But not on one case have they answered any questions. It's all been...
John Hurst actually won his appeal on council tax, but nothing's come out about it, and I don't know why.
Probably they're trying to withhold the information that he won and give more people the incentives to go for it.
Because beyond Article 61 you've got, Article 61 acts on the fact that our constitution and our common laws they bound us. They protect us in everything that we do as far as free movement's concerned and everything else that we're involved with before the EU came along. It's already protected by these laws, and then we've been kind of, as we all put it, shoehorned into the EU to give us a new constitution which goes against ours, which shouldn't be in place, should it? Should not be in place, and it's a treasonous act to have this in power, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get back to where Article 61 was evoked in 2001, and go back to that point and say you need to answer to any authority that's asking us all any of these questions. But everything else you've heard today as well, all the other speakers, it covers that as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And if we get them to answer about Article 61 and about the fact that the Barons Committee did invoke Article 61 in Parliament, and they sent a petition to Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
And it was answered, so it's a lawful petition. They had to answer that. She wouldn't have answered it.
She didn't answer it directly. It was
the way we see it. That's fact. That's happened, and it's getting them to answer that and holding your case and holding firm while you say you need to answer that. We've got the evidence there. That's there in
Robin Janver.
Caroline. What was her name? Caroline something over of the Times, at the Telegraph.
Yeah.
I put the article in there to say that the invocation of Article 61, and it's just it goes to reaffirm our constitutional rights and our laws that have protected us for more than 800 years.
Can I just clarify a point regarding where the Barons invoked the Article 61 in Parliament? Am I correct in thinking then that the courts no longer have any the Crown or the Queen has no longer got any power within the judicial system?
We're the ones with the power now.
Really, in essence, are we saying that it's a private entity courts now?
You only give them power if you consent to their jurisdiction.
Right.
The EU, by going into the EU, we've brought ourselves into a set of laws by the sound of it, a system that's foreign to our own.
So it's like where we go by we're innocent until we're presumed guilty. Now it's the other way around, and that's why we're finding we're having to fight claims that are fraudulent.
It's Roman law.
So
Is that right? It's Roman law?
Yeah.
And they've tried to oppose it. Whereas we're common law. And our constitution says, it states clearly, doesn't it, we cannot be ruled by a foreign power, we cannot have foreign laws ruling our land. Now, if that's stated in our constitution, that's written before Parliament, before that came along, they have the right to remove laws that they have made or that have come after them. They've not got the right to remove laws that have been created by God, that have been created by by people before Parliament came along. We can't repeal them because they're for us and for our good.
They didn't exist before that.
Say that again.
They didn't exist. Parliament didn't exist.
Yeah.
If you come up then,
trying to. I've got Article 61. Yeah, we've explained that. The invoked Article 61. That was down. Say that again. Sorry.
Everybody aware of why it was invoked?
Why it was invoked? Right. Okay. We've got. Let's go. We'll go back to where because I'm only in this. I've only been in this a year, so but you've got, as far as I see it, you've got a couple of marker points. You've got 1911 when they brought in was the Parliament Act to remove the Treason Act. Now that was against our constitutional rights by removing that. So that was the first act of treason. So as far as Article 61 law for rebellion are concerned, that is one of the marker points where everything becomes null and void from then, because they've removed part of our constitution. To remove part of our constitution, we should be asked about that as people.
The main part of that is it's removed the power from whoever is king or queen, what it's done is remove power from whoever is king or queen to actually not sign a bill through to be an act. Because it's been done twice in history. One was where they were trying, I can't remember the complete story, it's something to do with Scotland and Spain, I think. They were trying to overthrow the British throne, and the Queen, she refused to sign it through to an act. That was one of the cases. And
that was, yeah, I think that was where she actually used the powers that we want to be used. Yeah. Whereas in 1911 they gave away powers, whereas you had the two parts of the Parliament, didn't you? And those two parts of the Parliament had to agree to pass a law. Those parts of the Parliament had to agree to pass a law. In 1911 that was scrapped, so only the House of Commons were able to pass a law. They could pass it on their own then, and they didn't have to have the House of Lords to agree to it, that were Act Protectors almost. So you go on from that marker point, you've then got 2001, which is where Tony Blair was about to sign the Nice Treaty. Now that further gives away further powers of taxation, police force, anything like that, gives away those powers to a foreign government, to the EU. So just under those points, that is against our constitution. It goes against our common law.
That's treason, isn't it?
Yeah, that's treason. Yeah, because our constitution states that no foreign power can rule us. I've read something that was I brought up in a church, Deuteronomy, and this is one of the laws that Deuteronomy 17:15. And this is one of the laws that the Queen, in her coronation oath, swears on. She puts her hand on the Bible that is full of biblical laws that she must uphold and follow. And one of them is Deuteronomy 17:15. To no one shall I set a stranger above you. I paraphrase, but it's along those lines. It's you can only be ruled by your brother, kind of thing. So no one in a foreign land can then come over and rule you, which is a fair enough thing. It's common sense. It's not. Pardon?
Yeah. The Windsors or the South Cobra.
Foreigners.
It's all in the eye of pantomime.
It's been happening for a long, long time. Is the way I see it. The common law, it surpasses all of that. No matter how far you go back into the Queen's family or anything like that, common law to me. It derives from heathen England. It derives from our kind of just natural, instinctive kind of
what's right and wrong.
What's right and wrong, yeah. And that's where that derives from. This is why that can't be. It shouldn't be usurped. Is the word, or it shouldn't be usurped. It shouldn't be replaced. It shouldn't be. There's no need for it. Everything in our constitution to do with immigration is covered, and they're covered. In a fantastic way, it's all kind of. I forgot what the statement is in the Magnacarta about people coming to this country, but they're welcome to this country. They always have been. They always will be. They have been for the EU or anything like that.
Well, it used to be regarded as British under ancient Maltese law, which predates Magnacarta for about 2,000 years here. In order for a family to be established as British, they had to be here for 9 generations.
Okay.
That's traditionally how it's been.
Yeah, sure. I mean, the way I see it personally, I make this comment myself, but the way I see it, we're human beings, so no matter how far you go back into what society set that law up that you're talking about, it derives from our instincts as good people to do good things to each other.
Well, maritime law is law of the seas, not law of the land.
Yeah. As far as I've read into it, that's about how we've gone over and conquered people, used our law to conquer their lands, and they then obviously used it against us to come back at us and obviously put us under that law. I don't know, correct me.
There's something else that's relevant to the selling of national sovereignty, which is in the Privy Councillor's oath. Because every single member of the Privy Council swears an oath not to do anything to benefit the foreign prince of our potentate over the interests of the sovereign.
Sure.
And so all of the government ministers, as far as I know, are Privy Councillors.
Sure, but then
they've all taken that oath. So
and then to enter into the EU then, puts the EU as a higher power. So that instantly says that they're swearing, well, in a way, to me, it almost instantly says that they transfer that oath to then the EU. So they're swearing that oath to the higher power, and then, like you say, just forsaking us.
Yes, that's what the
Yeah, it's a massive amount of treason against us all. And we can only go through history, you can only go through the last, 20, 30 years where you've seen a decline in services, in
It went worse. It started getting worse in 1971 with the EFID when
it all fits in. And if you go back to, I'm going off subject now, but if you go back into World War II, when you've got, if anyone's looked into Freud's cousin, and how Freud's cousin was employed by the Americans to get women into smoking. Smoking for women back then was just a no-no, it wasn't done. He was employed then to use his powers of persuasion and media and all the rest to get women to smoke. That was successful. He then took on that kind of vein to then start pushing us, to then start using that kind of influence to get us into other things. And it was just a starting point. Like I say, we've been studied, we've been looked at, we've been monitored, and now it's all coming to fruition. And they're using these kind of systems to get at us. To get back to Article 61, your second jump-off point is 2001, which was when the Nice Treaty was signed. Like I say, the Nice Treaty was signed, or was going to be signed. The quorum of 65 barons, a quorum of 65 barons, earls, lords, viscounts, headed by Lord Ashbourne. They wrote out a petition, they set an inquiry, Sanity, the group was called, set up an inquiry about the Nice Treaty and about whether signing the Nice Treaty would be an act of treason against our constitution. That inquiry came back, yeah, it's an act of treason. It goes against our common laws, goes against our British rule of law and all that. So then they wrote out a petition and handed that to Buckingham Palace, presented it at Buckingham Palace to the Queen. You got 40 days to reply. Now a lawful petition, and it's in that book over there that I brought today, a petition can be given by any citizen, and it's a lawful petition. There's certain things that I've forgotten now, but it's a lawful device, a petition is. So they sent this petition to the Queen, 40 days to reply. Because it's a lawful thing, she replied. Replied on the 39th day. It weren't adequate, we're in the EU, so that's obvious. So then they had no choice, and now the Barons Committee, their duty bound, like all you lot are and everyone else is, to protect our constitution. It's not just to, just because we've given the power to politicians to protect it, they're not the only ones that are there to protect it. It's us.
They're supposed to be the servants.
Exactly, yeah, they're the representatives. They're just the megaphone of us. But they're not, we're the people, yeah, we're the ones that need to protect this because they're not doing the job. Now, they've proved that, they've signed us into the EU, they've ignored all the lawful stuff that we were supposed to do, all the lawful kind of ways in which we were supposed to use their system to protect ourselves, and they've ignored that now. And that's been proven with Ollie Pinnock, and many other things that have gone on, and all the stuff that's been talked about today. They're ignoring everything of it.
So sorry to interrupt. So back to council tax.
Sure.
Obviously, we're all reading about Ollie and what's happening. Now, what we're saying is, due to Article 61, was it, of Magnacarta?
Yeah.
It's treason. It's unlawful. It shouldn't be happening, but it is. So
council tax in itself isn't.
It's happening. Right, sorry. And we're saying, okay. It's not that we don't want to pay it and we're refusing to pay it, but however, let's pop that bit of money here until you can prove it's not.
Yeah.
If you say they're stonewalling, they're ignoring it.
Yeah. Tacit agreement.
Yes, tacit agreement. So if that is the case, can't we write to them and say, if you ignore this within a reasonable time frame, we will take that as tacit and you will now contract with us and we will not have to pay.
That is exactly how we use the system.
Is that how we do it?
Their rules, they're legal laws, aren't they? If you don't agree to it, you send someone a letter and they don't apply to it in
contract speak, it's tacit.
Yeah, it's a tacit agreement. So you still follow those laws. They ignore those. I mean, that's proven in our cases. They blow over them. They wash over your question. They just literally poo-poo you. They just literally
you say we haven't got a written constitution and all the rest of it.
But I tell you now, I'm on my third notice to Bristow and Suter about a council tax debt, the previous one. On the first notice, I was sent, it had a name attached to it, so I sent my first notice to them, which was, what is it, it's an objection, notice of objection to the claim of what they're asking me for. So
lawful objection.
Lawful objection, yeah. Now, I'm saying to them, you need to prove to me that you're not giving this money to unlawful criminal people before I pay it. I've got this money, but until you prove that, and also until you prove that Article 61 wasn't invoked, then I will give you your money. Until that point, you're not getting a penny off me. Now, that's a lawful thing to do. You've got every right to do that, but for some reason there's something in the system. Well, we know what it is. It's a corruption in the system, and we've got to get round and chop out that bit.
Can I ask, how do we enter into lawful rebellion then? What's the process?
The way I've done it, I've gone into the site, I found a site through Morgan, he put me onto it. I was going through Corbett Report and things like that. If anyone knows Corbett Report, it's a fantastic dude to go to, but a lot of it was American. Found the English version of it, he told me the site, and then literally just watched the site for a few months, read people's profiles, what they were doing, this, that and the other, got the gist of the system, and this, that and the other stuff.
Is this practical lawful dissent?
Practical Lawful Dissent it's called. It's on Facebook, they've got a website, got the layman's guide here for everyone who wants it. And I just watched the site for a few months, and then when I was confident enough and I'd convinced myself that it was the right cause to do and they were going along the right lines, that's when I signed my oath. And then all I did, I mean, the guys on the site are fantastic. They will give you all the guidance through the site, and what I will say, I mean, you sign your oath to the barons, that's the main thing. I mean, it's easy enough to find, it's all on the site, so I won't go too much into it.
You have to do it to show you standing.
Yeah, it is it's a lawful implement. Once you sign your oath to the barons, you're lawfully protected to a certain extent. Thank you. And you see, the thing is, we've got this part of the site which gets a lot of bad press about withholding taxes, withholding income tax and all the rest of it. And it's a touchy subject, I get that, I really get that. You know, I live in Beeston, I love my town, and I want to input to it, I want to give money to it and help that town along. But I know what's going on with my money, I know what they're spending on and what they're not spending on. I've been through the Network Rail train closures, the crossing closures. Now, I dealt with protest marches and stuff like that. I got to the point where you've got people there that were pretending to be on your side. Steve Barber, that was pretending to be on my side, working with me, but was actually talking to Network Rail and organising stuff in the background. So I know through experience that you go through them routes and they won't take you anywhere. They'll mess you around and they'll waste your time in protest and they'll waste your time in gathering information and stuff like that. And they're lying to your face. And I proved it to them. But there was no one listening because the powers that be were on their side.
Powers that were.
Oh, well, the powers that shouldn't be. Yeah.
So I'm from Birmingham, as you can probably tell from my accent. I'm from a little place called Sandwell. Now, what my local council is starting to do is at the start of every tax year for them, they will send out a letter stating where your money goes. And I don't know if anyone else has had that happen yet.
Yeah, right.
It breaks down every single penny now.
But then we've got the money going to the EU, which is our problem with it. That part of it. So this is where the confusion comes in. You've got we've got a system here, right, that is totally. It's a good system. We live in a good country with a good system. The way I see it's been corrupted by bad people. Yeah, pay tax. It's fair enough. We all should pay tax. We all should, contribute to the society. But that's where it's gone wrong, isn't it? It's not the system that we're using. So paying tax is I'm all for paying tax, but to the right people for the right means.
By consent.
By consent, yeah. And representative tax. I mean, paying tax, like you said, they give you an itemised bill of the police force and all the rest of it. That's in our country.
That's only a small percentage of your money.
Exactly. I'd love to see the itemised bill of the EU and where that money goes and how that money's spent, because that is unrepresented and that goes against our constitution as well. That is taxation without representation, and that's not allowed. In this land, that's not allowed. And that shouldn't have been allowed.
In case of all taxation is theft. That's the bottom line. No man has the right to keep anything.
Taxation.
It's money, isn't it? It's a system.
I don't mind to this idea that there's no taxation.
Well, that boils down to me to the system of money. Anything with money involved in it is a system of control.
Have you ever actually seen any money?
Sorry.
Have you ever actually seen any money? You mentioned the word money about it. Has anybody ever seen any money?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, of course, it's all in the system, that's it. All tax and council tax is just another control mechanism.
We know what the problems are. We all know what the problems are. They're massive and they're constant and they're in our face.
How do we get round that?
Article 61, in my opinion, Article 61.
Ollie did that and he got whipped off.
Yeah, but Ollie's one person. Ollie, right, you've got to understand, right? We're fighting a massive group of people, a big, strong group of people. So, yeah, Ollie got picked off, and the people are going to get picked off. We've got to be, aware of that, of the logical kind of, the realist thinking that this ain't going to be easy. People are going to be picked off. They are going to use criminal ways of stopping us, and we've got to think almost not outside the box. We've got to think in so many ways to try to like you say, to formulate a plan of attack, or at least to get us all together in things like this, where we feel powerful.
Can I just introduce this sort of Kevin has got an interesting, on the subject of council tax, Kevin has recently had a development that I think would be good for you to share. Can you come forward?